Hello there, my darling dragon friends. My name is Ariel. I am the Sassy Dragon, and today we will be talking about and giving a review to the fragrance Lira by Casamorati and Xerjoff. So this, guys, is it's a kind of pricey perfume. I was finally able to get a sample of this one. I've had a lot of people request that I do this one, and I think it looks pretty good. We're going to check it out. So this was released in 2011, and I'm not really sure. It's kind of strange. They call it the two different company names. One is Casamorati, and I'm not sure if that's just like the line of fragrances or the brand. And then the other one is Xerjoff with an X, Xerjoff. So I'm not exactly sure which brand that is. It's one or the other or both. But anyway, this is considered an Oriental floral. I think it's also considered a gourmand because of some of the notes in it. The fragrance perfumer behind this was Chris Maurice. Most of the fragrances in the database on Fragrantica for him are more niche perfume houses. They are smaller companies, more independent. They're not like the big designer names, and he's got 72 in the Xerjoff company line. So he's been doing a lot of fragrances for them over the years. Top notes on this are blood orange, bergamot, and lavender. So it does have a nice bright opening. We're going to go ahead and spray some of this on as we talk about it. And I tried it just a little bit earlier today, and I noticed that a lot of people say that this is a very lemony kind of scent, or has a citrus to it, which it definitely does. I think the combination doesn't have an actual lemon note in the perfume, notes, but I think what people are pulling as lemon is the combination of the blood orange and bergamot, because those two together could come off very lemony, very citrusy, right? And it does have lavender in the top as well. It's not a very strong or very abrasive, somehow lavenders can be very almost soapy sharp. But this lavender to me is a more soft one. It's not quite as punchy, so that's what you'll notice in the top. The middle notes have a little bit of spice with cinnamon and licorice, and there's a good white floral with the jasmine right in the heart of this fragrance. And the base notes are vanilla, caramel, and musk. So we do get a very gourmand kind of dry down. What I really noticed about this one, I was really curious about that cinnamon note, but to me it's very light. It's really well blended into the mixture of the whole, so I don't feel like it's necessary like you smell it and think like spice cookies or cinnamon cookie. It doesn't have that kind of smell to it. I would say also the licorice note is likewise very muted. It's not very strong. It's blended really nicely into the whole. And I think the jasmine is too, because I'm not getting a real big hit of a floral or of a jasmine. I almost feel like the middle notes are the most soft part of this. The top notes come out very strong and citrusy, lemony, with a little bit of that soft lavender, and that, for me at least, dries down really quickly. Like within 30 minutes, that part of it was going away. Like the lemony part of it was really dying down. And so what you have really at the base is those more gourmand notes of the caramel and vanilla. And you still have some of the middle, but most of those more citrusy top notes, at least for my chemistry, dry down and off very quickly. So, if somebody sprays this at first and they think, oh, maybe it's a little too citrusy, give it a minute, because I found that it did not stay that citrusy on me for very long. It mostly comes through with the vanilla caramel. It almost reminds me just a little bit of the caramel notes in Prada Candy. But Prada Candy has a lot more benzoin and amber in it that make it have a very, very different feel in the dry down. This one comes across more dessert-like. It's a little bit more soft, more rounded. It really does have a very dessert-like dry down. So if you really like kind of a soft vanilla caramel with just a very light spice level that just gives it a little bit of warmth, this could be really for you, especially if you like that citrusy opening. For some people, the top notes may last a little bit longer. For me, they hardly lasted at all. This, even with a discount on FragranceNet or some of the discount perfume sites, is pretty high. It's like on, I just checked FragranceNet, currently it's like 185, so it's really pricey. For, you know, I think it's for a 3.4 ounce bottle, so it's not terrible if you're looking to spend some money on a perfume, but for this one, it just doesn't feel unique enough. I guess that's what I would say about it. It's absolutely delicious. It smells really good. It has just a very nice, pleasant, you know, warm vanilla caramel gourmand kind of scent. But I think that there are other fragrances out there that have a lot of similarities that don't cost quite as much and last a little longer. Because what I really noticed about this was the longevity was just not very good for me. And I know that it's different for everyone. So, you know, you might say in the comments, well, it lasts forever on me. That's because you've got a different chemistry than mine. Some people, their skin just eats things right up, or it just doesn't take. But for me, this one seems to dissipate pretty quick. Because after spraying it within, I mean, even within just sitting here talking about it, you know, the lemoniness is already dried down off of this fragrance, and it's really just turning into a more or less generic, gourmand, warm, very lightly spiced caramel vanilla. Not a bad fragrance at all. I mean, it's really, really nice. If it wasn't so pricey, I might want to add it to my collection just because I love, you know, vanilla-based or caramel-based scents. But given the price and given what it feels like is a very moderate to light longevity, along with some of those more unique notes drying down, I wish that the more citrusy part stuck around with it, because I actually feel like if it did, I would really, really like this more. It almost would remind me of a softer, slightly less intense version of the Dolce & Gabbana Devotion, right? Which is a very strong, lemon-forward gourmand. But this one is a little bit more wearable, a little less punchy, a little less strong and intense, and so that's what can make this one like a much friendlier version, or a softer version if you're looking for something similar that doesn't have quite as much oomph. Yeah, it's really kind of a shame, because I wish that citrusy opening stuck around with it longer, because if it did, I might be able to, you know, easily justify shelling out the dollars for this one. But for me, this is just, it's not quite unique enough, unfortunately, for me to want to go out and get like a full-on big bottle of it. Of course, if I keep using it, and maybe if I spray a whole lot of it, maybe it'll stick around a little better. But so far for me, the lemony, the blood orange bergamot, which smells really, really good to me in the opening, it fizzles out just so quick. So yeah, let me know what you think of Lira by Xerjoff Casamorati. If you have tried this one before or not, check it out. If you're interested in a very soft vanilla gourmand with some caramel and just a very light bit of spice. To me, the citrus notes, like I said, don't last very long in the top. So if you're looking for something like that, give it a try. And tell me if there are other fragrances that combine those citrusy, lemony notes with that kind of vanilla, caramel cakey dry down, because I would really like to find something like that. I think Acro Bake is one that people have said is kind of a lemon cake kind of fragrance, and maybe I need to try that one next. Let me know below in the comments. I always appreciate what you have to say about all this, because I'm always learning new things about perfumes too, and it's really fun to have that interchange of ideas. So talk to y'all soon, and take care. Bye for now.